Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy and I'm from Team Poker Risk Analytics, and my teammates are Athena and Trip. So the main problem that we're tackling is that banks within Australia are facing a high level of personal loan impairments. This is evident within CBA and Westpac, who have both incurred over $600 million in impairment loans respectively on an annual basis. So we're doing research into the banking institutions and how they provide credit ratings for individuals that are applying for loans. We found this is not an optimal solution. The reason for this is because they have a limited availability of information. Currently, they're getting the information from Vita, which is the company which provides publicly available information on the individual that's applying for a loan, as well as their internal systems. So they look at their records and the history with the individual. But this can sometimes be proven to be ineffective because of the fact that they may not have any history with the individual. It's also ineffective because the legal system prevents banks from sharing information about their customers with one another. So the proposed solution that we've come up with is to acquire data from online poker sites such as PokerStars and analyze this data in order to extrapolate information on such things as risk-taking within different demographics. This information can then be conveyed to banks in order to improve their current credit rating systems. So the reason that we feel that this solution is feasible is because we found that there's a clear connection between the level of risk-taking that an individual takes as well as their financial decisions. So for example, an individual that is more likely to undertake risk is also more likely to take a loan that they cannot repay. We've also found that it's possible to calculate the level of risk-taking an individual takes when playing poker, and this can be done through a fixed formula. So now I'll be talking about the roadmap for implementation and the key processes involved in this rollout. For the first phase, it would involve negotiating and trying to acquire the data from online poker sites, and the site that we're suggesting is PokerStars, and this is due to them being the largest provider of online poker, and therefore it would provide us with the largest data set to extrapolate this information from. And we estimate this to take roughly 2 weeks. The second stage would be analysis of the data set, and this, in my opinion, would be the most important due to the extrapolation of information that would be relevant for the banking sector. In terms of this, we'll be extrapolating information on the risk-taking nature of individuals within different demographics. And we've estimated this to take roughly 8 weeks for the Deloitte Data Analytics team. So the third phase would be discussing the value proposition with potential clients within the banking sector, and basically this would be outlining the reasoning as to why this is such a valuable solution in terms of providing savings for impairment loans for the banking client. And this we estimate to take around 4 weeks. The fifth phase would be implementing the new model into the existing credit rating system, and basically this would involve understanding the current credit rating systems that banks use and trying to adapt the new model into this system. And we estimate this to take 8 weeks due to the time it takes to adapt the new model, as well as the time it takes to train employees to understand the information that they're basing their credit ratings upon. The last phase would be consistently evaluating and improving the current model, the new model that we made, and in doing so, it will consistently improve and increase the amount of savings to be made by banks on loan impairments, personal loan impairments. So now I'll be discussing the risks involved in our current solution. So the first risk that we've come across is the financial risk, and basically this risk involves overpaying the amount that was originally planned. However, the way to mitigate this is by looking at the competitive rate that other poker sites pay for this similar data, and in doing so we've reduced this risk to a low risk rating. The second risk that we've come across is the relevancy risk, and this can be quite substantial if proven to be true. However, we found that there is quite a good linkage between risk-taking and financial decisions that individuals make, and therefore throughout this research we found that the likelihood of this occurring would be medium. And then to further reduce this risk, I believe that further analysis into this area should be taken, and therefore, overall, after mitigating, the risk should be a medium risk rating. The last risk that we've come across is the legality side of things, in which we may breach some privacy laws. However, we found this to be quite low because of the fact that we are purchasing such a large data set, and anonymous data cannot be traced to a specific individual. Therefore, we're not actually breaching any privacy laws. However, to ensure that we do not breach any privacy laws, we should put more emphasis on the legal side of things as to how much data and what type of data we can purchase in order to prevent us from breaching privacy legislation. And in that case, we've reduced the risk to low. So now we'll be talking about the future of our solution, which I refer to as looking beyond the horizon. So our initial introduction starts with a small data set, which we're looking at PokerStars or Crying PokerStars data, and this would only focus on a small amount of players. Hopefully from this we can see that there's some valuable information within this data, and therefore we can continue to refine the service. In refining the service, that means we would be purchasing more data from other poker sites, as well as increasing the complexity of our algorithm to ensure a more accurate credit rating system for banks. Hopefully through this we can also increase our capabilities to other applications, such as understanding the risk appetite of investors and providing them with more useful advice on such things as investment decisions, and hopefully we can provide other sorts of applications such as that. And through this, once our service becomes more popular and more widespread, we can expand globally to overseas financial institutions to generate greater revenue, and hopefully by starting off with poker, we can move on to other games to extrapolate information on gaming behavior from other different games in order to apply to real life situations. So now hopefully you have a better understanding of how online poker data can be used to improve the current credit rating system that banks use, as well as the part that Deloitte plays in providing the analytical services in this solution. So thank you.